Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cam, and I finally watched Candyman. No, I am not saying his name 5 times. Mostly because it's a gimmick, but also I'm afraid of what might happen. This was directed by Bernard Rose. It was also written by him. It was based on the short story written by Clive Barker, who also wrote this short story for Hellraiser. And it starred Virginia Madsen, Tony Todd, Vanessa Williams, and Xander Berkeley, among others. And it tells the story of a professor, played by Virginia Madsen, who is writing a thesis on the urban legend of the Candyman, who, if you say his name 5 times in the mirror, appears as a vengeful spirit, or breathing down your neck, as the legend goes. Candyman is a vengeful spirit. He has a hook for a right hand, and was killed, or stung to death by bees, and nearly beaten to death for several crimes that he did not commit. This professor keeps turning stone after stone after stone over, but, well, she turns over one stone too many, and brings him into our realm. With the remake coming up very shortly, I had been itching to watch this. However, there was a part of me that was like, maybe this is going to be overrated, because no matter where I turned to, this movie had been generally really liked and seen as a cult classic, seen as underappreciated at the time, but as time went on, it's getting more of a reputation of being really good. And after finally watching it, wow. Let me just put it to you all like this. I have seen horror movies in 2021 where I have walked out of and have just kind of nothing. Whether I liked them or disliked them, I just said to myself, alright, that was cool, and then I haven't really thought about it since. I watched Candyman a couple of days ago, and I have not stopped thinking about it. And honestly, that falls at the feet of Tony Todd. For all that we talk about of like Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, and others, Candyman needs to be in the conversation because, wow, Tony Todd just gives such a criminally underrated performance. His scenes are incredibly few, but the movie does an excellent job of just building him up and building him up to when you finally do see him, it's everything that the movie has been building up to and more. The design of him as well is incredibly intimidating, with the leather jacket and the pants, and of course the frickin' hook hand looks just super gross. It's not even like a clean hook with a cauterized wound. Oh no. There is just a bloody stump with a hook coming out of it. It's super gross, but it's also a nice touch all at once. The first, I'll say, half of this movie is pretty much all build-up. It's this professor learning about the legend, going into Cremini Green, looking at where Candyman is supposedly struck, being incredibly skeptic, seeing professors who are like, it's just a wives' tale, what's the worst that could happen? And then he finally appears, and it's just, wow. After a certain point, specifically a point involving a parking garage, it's all downhill from there. The movie does a good job of just throwing you off to the point when things start going down, you are so not ready for it. There is, I want to call it a fake out, in which this professor is going around, she's doing her research, taking photos, she goes into Cremini Green one more time to get more photos, and then is confronted by a gang of men. One of them is supposedly the Candyman, more like when a little boy is like, Mom, can we get Candyman? And Mom's like, no, honey, we have the Candyman at home. The Candyman at home. He's an impersonator, and even though he looks intimidating, we all know, yeah, this guy is just using the legend just for power. Like, just, this is not him. But when he finally does appear, it's like the harbinger of death, because everything after that is just a roller coaster of just awful things. And also give props to Virginia Madsen as well for selling pretty much all of this and feeling so sorry for this professor, just going from where she starts to where she ends up. And seeing as though this is from the deranged mind of Clive Barker, yeah, nothing goes well for anyone here. I dare not go into spoilers, but let's just say by the end of the movie, even though it is a 90-minute movie, you feel like you're not even walking out a hero, you're just walking out a survivor. And at the end of the day, this movie is one of the most underrated horror movies I think I've ever seen. There's some kind of things I wasn't a fan of, like Xander Berkeley as the professor's husband and the requisite, honey, you know that's a wives' tale, right? Part of the story. He's not in it very much, though. And Vanessa Williams' appearances are really minimal as well, and I actually like her, and seeing her the rare few times you saw her was really cool as well, but not enough. I don't think this is a perfect movie, though I think it will get better the more I think about it. Just the general eerie and creepy tone of this movie combined with the brilliant performances and just the general shock of the whole thing, this will give you nightmares. And just, yeah, why people don't talk about this more, I refuse to guess. But with that said, now that I've actually seen this movie, I'm honestly pretty excited for the remake. What's Nia DaCosta gonna do with this story? I honestly really don't know. From the trailers that I have seen, now with the full context of seeing the original and now the remake trailer, I'm honestly excited for what she's going to come up with. But what are your thoughts on Candyman if you have seen it? Leave your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you all have to say about it. That is all from me. Thank you so much as always for watching. This coming Sunday on the channel, please stay tuned for my review for Gattaca from 1997, a supremely underrated movie that nobody talks about, and I think more people should. But if you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and if you like this video and you want to see more like it, hit the subscribe button and click the bell to allow notifications. That way when a new video drops, you'll be the first to know about it. My name is Ryan Cam, and I'll see you in the next one.